Alright, hi everyone, and welcome back into our another video of Matt Sports Talk. And in this video, we are going to be recapping all the games from the women's side of things. Now, before we do, of course, I mentioned in my men's video that the new ARC, RPI, and quad records are going to be coming out Monday and Tuesday, respectively. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. I'll be recording videos then going over all of that information with you, and then on Sunday I'll record a video recapping all the games from Saturday, because there is huge playoff seeding implications on the line after Saturday's game. So again, make sure that you stay tuned for that coming up on Sunday. So before we officially dive into the game recaps from last night, I do want to mention one thing that, before I talk about this game a little bit later on more specifically, that for Marian women's basketball, and again, this is the women's side of things, that Abby McNally of Marian, the senior from Cincinnati, has officially gotten into that 2,000-point club, and she is only the third player in Marian WBB history to achieve that milestone. So a huge congratulations to Abby. That is just absolutely outstanding, and she has now 2,000 career points, and she now has tied former Lady Knight Lakin Hasser-Smith for second place all-time in career scoring at Marian. So that is just absolutely amazing, and what a job that she has done in just 4 years with the Lady Knights. That is just amazing. So a big congratulations to her for that just absolutely amazing achievement, that is for sure. So the first matchup that we are going to dive into last night takes us to Goshen, Indiana, where Huntington faced off against Goshen. And this was a really close game, but Huntington prevailing here. And again, the Ruth Gunden Gymnasium is such a tough place to play, and Huntington, though, prevailing here 60-52. Back-to-back games, they've been held to 60 points or less. And this is a team that averages 75 a game, so you kind of wonder, has Huntington kind of hit the top? Are they starting to fall off a cliff these last 3 games of the regular season? We don't know, as they are definitely a bubble team for nationals. And leading the way for Huntington, you had 10 points for Kendra Sheets, 3 of 5 shooting, 4-4 at the line, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals for her. 4 points for Addie Shank off just 2 of 9 shooting, but she had 2 rebounds on the night. And then you had Tegan Akers with 5 points, struggled shooting at 2 of 8, but she did have 11 rebounds though, 4 assists and 3 steals to go along with that. Only 8 points for Liv Raby, but 4 of the 8 were at the free throw line though, 3 rebounds and a block for her. So only 7 points for Annika Nelson off 3 of 12 shooting, but she had 6 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 blocks though. And then off the bench you had Izzy Shepard with 3 points. That was all at the free throw line though. She also had 1 rebound. And then you had 2 points for Lauren Merritt with 7 rebounds and 2 steals. Really good to see that. And the 2 big ones off the bench were Peyton Hartsoe, 10 points, 2 of 5 shooting, 1 of 4 from deep, 5 of 8 at the line, 2 rebounds, 2 assists for her. And then Kendall Yoakum, 4 of 6 shooting, 3 of 4 of that was from beyond the arc, 1 rebound and 2 assists plus a block for her. And Huntington really struggled shooting at 32, really struggled from 3 at 27. Now, they were really good at the free throw line, converting 17 out of 22 for 77. Compared to Goshen, that shot 38 from the field, so Goshen was better in that category. Goshen was worse from 3, albeit by not a lot, at 21, and way better at the free throw line, converting 5 out of 6 for 83. And leading the way for Goshen in terms of starters was Ava Eadgolf with 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. You had 5 points for Lillian Nall with 5 rebounds plus 2 assists. You had 6 points for Kyla Foster with 3 of 7 shooting, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. 7 points for Carrie Heiler with 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals as well. Only 2 points for Lucia Luke Morales, but she had 6 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal though. And then off the bench, you had 10 points for Ziane Finesse off 4 of 6 shooting, 2 of 2 at the line, 1 rebound plus 2 blocks. And then 5 points for Nyesha Goss with a block, 5 points as well for Kyla Smith, 1 of 4 shooting, 3 of 4 at the line with a block. And then 4 points for Sarah Elfrey off 2 of 3 shooting, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks. And that was your match up there. And then the next matchup will take us to Upland, Indiana, where number 7 St. Francis faced off against the receiving votes Taylor Trojans, and St. Francis prevailing here after they actually were trailing in this game for part of a time, but they were able to prevail in the end, 72-62, the final score here. And of course, for St. Francis, you had 22 points for Isabella Gizzi, 8 of 9 shooting, 1 of 1 from deep, 5 of 6 at the line, 6 rebounds, 3 assists for her. 7 points for Taylor, 4 dice, 3 of 8 shooting with 4 assists, 6 rebounds, and a steal. Only 4 points for Julia Mantala, 2 of 5 shooting with a block. 4 points for Renna Schweiderman off 2 of 3 shooting with 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Off the bench, Samaya Stout with 2 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. And then you had Ashley Cox, 1 minute of action, no statistics. 5 minutes of action, Allison Show, 4 points, 2 of 3 shooting with a block. And then Emma Royce, 5 minutes of action with an assist plus a steal. And the big one for St. Francis, really no surprise here, the sophomore from Convoy, Ohio, Callie Gregory, 29 points, 11 of 17 shooting, 4 of 8 from beyond the arc, 3 of 4 at the line. She had 7 rebounds. And then St. Francis shot a blistering 60% from the field, 37 from 3, so not great in that category, and really struggled at the free-throw line, converting 8 out of 14 for just 57%. And meanwhile, for Taylor shot worse from the field at 44, but still not too terribly bad. 40% from 3, so slightly better, and also struggled at the free-throw line, converting 5 out of 10 for just 50. And leading the way for Taylor was Marissa Trout, 14 points, 6 of 9 shooting, 1 of 3 from deep, 6 rebounds, 1 steal. Only 8 points for Quinn Kelly with 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 3 of 6 shooting, 2 of 2 at the line. 7 points for Maddie Allen with 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. You only had 8 points for Casey Warfel, the first time all year that the young freshman has scored less than 15 points in a game. So obviously that is a huge thing to keep track of. She was 3 of 12 shooting, but had 1 rebound and 4 assists. 3 points for Emma Full, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. And then off the bench, Selena Blount, for the first time all year not starting. She only played 5 minutes, had 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal. 2 points for Katie Moyer, 1 of 1 shooting in just 3 minutes of action, I might add. 1 rebound, 1 assist for her. And the big one was Emma Anselet off the bench. 20 points, 7 of 12 shooting, 5 of 8 from deep, 2 rebounds and 2 assists for her. And that was your matchup there. And then the next matchup will take us down to Winona Lake, Indiana, or over to Winona Lake, Indiana, where Grace hosted number 4 Marion. And of course, I alluded to Abby McNally's incredible achievement at the top of the video. Marion, no problem here, 97-66. They forced Grace into 30 turnovers, and Marion scored 32 points off those 30 turnovers, so that pretty much tells you all you need to know. Marion, though, had 22 turnovers, and Grace only scored. Yeah, Grace, I stand corrected. They had 32 turnovers for Grace, 32 points off that for Marion, 22 turnovers for Marion, 15 points off of that for Grace. And Marion just ruled the paint in a good way, of course, 72-26. And of course, leading the way for the Knights was actually Taylor Double, 16 points, 7 of 12 shooting, 2 of 4 from deep, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. 6 points for Olivia Faust, getting back in the starting lineup. 3 of 4 shooting. She had 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. 10 points for Madison Bailey, 5 of 12 shooting with 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. 7 points for Kylie McNally, 3 of 5 shooting, 1 of 2 at the line, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. And I alluded to Abby McNally, 15 points, only 4 rebounds, 2 steals as well, 6 of 10 shooting, 3 of 4 at the line. And off the bench, you had 2 points for Aubrey Frank with 2 assists and 2 steals. 2 points for Kennedy Coleman with 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. You had 7 points for Emma Simpson in just 9 minutes of action, 3 of 3 shooting, 1 of 2 at the line, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block. Violet Shuluga, 12 minutes of action, did not score, but she got 3 assists and a rebound though. 6 points for Zoe Wheeler, 2 of 5 shooting, 2 of 2 at the line with 2 rebounds and 1 steal. And you had 12 points for Eva Fisher, 6 of 9 shooting, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. 7 points for Emily Grimm, 3 of 3 shooting with a rebound, and 7 points for Kenna Kirby, 3 of 5 shooting, 1 of 1 from deep with 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. And Marion shot 54 from the field, 37 from 3. So 3-point shooting kind of struggled there. Field shooting really, really good. And they really struggled at the free throw line, converting 8 out of 17 for just 47%. And meanwhile, for Grace, they shot worse from the field at 32, way worse from 3 at 20. They were way, way better at the free throw line, converting 19 out of 27 for 70. And leading the way for Grace, pardon me, you had 13 points for Morgan Houck, 4 of 11 shooting, 3 of 7 from deep, 2 of 4 at the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 9 points for Maddie Pointer. However, 5 of the 9 were at the free throw line, though. She had 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. Only 5 points for Emma Sperry off just 2 of 11 shooting, but she had 1 rebound, 2 assists, and 3 blocks, though. It's really, really good to see that. 5 points for Becca Longenbaugh. 1 of 7 shooting. She also struggled. 2 of 2 at the line, though. 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. 12 points for Becca Gert. 4 of 11 shooting. 4 of 4 at the line. 6 rebounds, 1 assist, and 4 steals, though. Off the bench, you had Abby Ritzema with 3 points, 1 of 1 shooting, which was all from deep, and 8 minutes of action with 2 rebounds. Only a pair of points for Kate Thomas, 1 of 4 shooting, but she had 1 rebound and 1 steal, though. Only 1 point for Paula Fernandez in 5 minutes of action, which was a charity stripe. She also had 1 rebound plus an assist. Ava Yordi with 7 points off the bench in 7 minutes of action, 2 of 4 shooting, 3 of 4 at the line. And you got 5 points for Braylon Terrell, 2 of 4 shooting, 1 of 2 from deep, 6 rebounds and a block. And then 4 points for Riley Wetz, 1 of 2 shooting, 2 of 4 from deep, 4 rebounds plus a steal. And that was your matchup there. And then our next matchup will take us to Mishawaka, Indiana, where Bethel hosted number 16 Spring Arbor, and Bethel with a huge upset here, 70-62. Boy, what a massive win this is, that's for sure, for head coach Scott Paulsgrove, his assistant Austin Hawkins. They've done a phenomenal job this year, and they definitely have figured their team out from the struggles in years past. And now for Bethel, they forced Spring Arbor into 15 turnovers, but Spring Arbor shot really well from the field at 45. They really struggled from 3 at just 2 of 13, and they struggled at the free throw line, converting 12 out of 18 for 66. A couple bright spots for Spring Arbor. Ashley Weller with 14 points, 5 of 7 shooting, 4 of 4 at the line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. 10 points for Elena Kolesa off 5 of 9 shooting, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Only 2 points for Emma Smysko at 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Only 3 points for Haven Chapman, but she had 1 rebound, 3 assists, and 4 steals, though. 16 points for Megan Zeitz, 5 of 10 shooting, 1 of 2 from deep, 5 of 8 at the line, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals. Off the bench, Madison Socini, 9 points, 3 of 7 shooting, 3 of 4 at the charity stripe with 1 rebound, 1 steal. Rachel Reichert, 3 minutes of action, did not score. 6 points for Rylan Goodwin, 3 of 7 shooting with 2 rebounds and a steal. And only 2 points for Aubrey Crockett, 1 of 2 shooting, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. And then for Bethel shot worse from the field at 40, way better from 3 at 38, so that was obviously your big difference there. And Bethel way better at the free throw line, converting 18 out of 22 for 81. And leading the way for Bethel was Olivia Nickerson, really no surprise here, 19 points, 6 of 11 shooting, 6 of 10 of that was from beyond the arc, 1 of 2 at the line, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. 10 points for Jasmine Smith, off 3 of 3 shooting, 4 of 5 at the line, 6 rebounds for her. You had 18 points and 10 rebounds by Isabel Scales, so a double-double for her. 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block as well. 5 of 10 shooting, 8 of 9 at the charity stripe. 9 points for Isabella No, 3 of 7 shooting, 1 of 3 from deep, 2 of 2 at the line, 6 assists, 1 steal, 4 rebounds. Only 4 points for Mariah Claywell, but she was 1 of 2 at the line. 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals, though. It's really, really good to see that. And off the bench, you had 3 points for Hannah Ruddle with a steal plus a block. Jocelyn Marshall did not score, but she had 1 rebound, though. 5 points for Justice Williams, 2 of 2 at the line, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. You also had 2 points for Love Rain Gaskins with 2 rebounds, 1 assist, as well as a block. And then Dominique Stilley, 6 minutes of action, did not score, but she had 1 assist and 1 steal, though. And then Annabelle Wilhite, 5 minutes of action, no statistics. And that was your matchup there. And the final matchup takes us to Marion, Indiana, where Indiana Wesleyan faced off against Mount Vernon Nazarene. The first time these two teams met in Mount Vernon this year, the Wildcats won by 40, 84-44. This time, last night, even though it was at home, last night it was way different than that. MVNU shot way better this time, and they actually were right with IWU at the end of the first quarter, and then the Lady Wildcats just put the game away pretty much after that, leading wire to wire, 78-57. So the Wildcats go to 9-2 on the season when scoring 70 or more points, and that is just absolutely amazing. Now, with us in attendance this year, the Lady Wildcats are now 3-8 with us in attendance this year. And what's crazy about that statistic is that the Lady Wildcats have only won, the only games they've won with us in attendance have been the 2 worst teams in the conference, Goshen at home in the league conference and the league opener back in late November, and then the 2 games against Mount Vernon. Of course, the game here in Mount Vernon last month on the road, and then at home last night. So that is just kind of a really crazy statistic, that's for sure. And the Wildcats, though, prevailing here. I do one quick note ahead of time is that, of course, next Sunday, February 22nd, is when I'll be recapping all the games from next Saturday, which, again, I typically do that every Sunday afternoon. And, of course, I'm looking forward to being at the Senior Day game next Saturday, because that is a huge game for the Lady Wildcats. And, of course, I'll be there watching that game. Should be really, really fun. And then I'll be attending something right after that, which, again, I'm really, really excited about. So next Saturday is going to be a very long day. That is for sure. Now, looking at the stats last night for Mount Vernon, you had 12 points for Kylie Leibacher, 5 of 6 shootings. With 12 points, not too terribly bad, I guess. 5 of 6 shooting, 2 of 3 of that was from deep. She also had 1 rebound and 1 assist. You had 9 points for Melody Bluebaugh. Struggled shooting at just 3 of 12, but she had 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals plus a block, though. Abigail Hardwick in 5 minutes of action did not score, but she had 4 assists plus a steal. You had 8 points for Lily Shepard, 2 of 6 from deep, so really, really good to see that. 7 assists and 2 rebounds for her. Only 4 points for Angela Roshak. She had 4 rebounds. And then off the bench, you had Addie Beard at 2 minutes of action, no statistics. You also had Naomi Kibe at 6 points, 1 of 3 shooting, 4 at the line, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. 3 points for Jenna Brumbaugh, which was all from deep. And then she also had 3 rebounds plus an assist. And then 15 points for Anna Swisshelm off the bench. And Anna did that same thing here in Mount Vernon last month. She scored 19. I believe she started in the game at the game here last month when she put up 19, put up 15 off the bench. This time, 7 of 10 shooting, 1 of 2 from deep, 4 rebounds for her. And MVNU shot really good from the field at 44. Decent from 3, albeit obviously you would have loved to have seen the numbers a lot higher than that, just 33%. And obviously, for head coach Lauren Van Hoos, obviously you want to see those numbers come up. Now, Mount Vernon was a perfect 4-4 at the charity stripe for obviously 100%. And they had 18 turnovers, and that turned into 25 points for the Lady Wildcats. So obviously that was the big difference there. And the Wildcats were forced into 8 turnovers, and Mount Vernon Nazarene scored 8 points off those 8 turnovers. And for Indiana Wesleyan, they shot not equally good from the field at 43, and they were worse from 3 at 27. And worse at the free throw line, but again, not too terribly bad, I guess. 9 out of 13 for 69. And leading the way for the Lady Wildcats, really, who else? Ayla Krieger, 25 points for the young freshman. 11 of 18 shooting, 3 of 3 at the line, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 rebound. 7 points for Mila Browning, getting some starting time. And for Browning, she played just incredible. And I was at this game last night, and just an electric atmosphere, and I had so much fun being there. And really for me, every time I see Mila play, she is just so impressive, and she's scrappy on defense, which is really what I love most about her. And the more she plays, I think she could easily turn into an excellent defender. And if she could improve her shooting a little bit more, I think she could easily be a big scorer here moving forward in the next 3 seasons if she sticks around at Iowa. So it's going to be really fun to see how that plays out. Browning with 7 points, 3 of 9 shooting, with 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals. 12 points for Kylie Bettinger, 4 of 10 shooting, which is all from beyond the arc. She also had 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 2 steals, though. 9 points for Addie Hovey with 3 of 7 shooting, 3 of 4 at the line, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals, plus a block. Only 4 points for Jade Hovey. So for Jade being a senior in her final year with the Lady Wildcats, she's had herself a really good year, and it's been so awesome getting the chance to see her play this year with her being back fully healthy. She did struggle at 2 of 8 shooting, but she had 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal, though. And off the bench in 2 minutes of action, Sophia Schroeder did not score, but she had 1 rebound. 2 points for Haley Amy with 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 1 steal. The big one off the bench was Tori Thompson, and you need Tori to really step it up off the bench, especially without Emily Mattingly the rest of this season. But for Thompson, she had 10 points, 3 of 5 shooting, 2 of 3 of that was from beyond the arc, 2 of 2 at the charity stripe. And she had a buzzer beater 3-pointer going into halftime, and that just excited the bench. Her teammate Kylie Bettinger was just, screaming, hopping up and down, just so excited for that shot. And I was too, man, Tori, you go. This is awesome. Thompson with 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal as well. Sydney Gooden, 2 minutes of action, did not score. You got 9 points off the bench for Corinne Grivey, so really, really good to see that. 3 of 6 shooting, which was all from deep. 6 rebounds, 4 assists for her, and she will be back for her 5th year of eligibility next year, so I'm super, super excited about that. So glad that she gets 1 more extra year, and definitely looking forward to watching her play because she is just a phenomenal player off the bench. She can definitely provide you that extra spark in terms of points, but her defense is just absolutely amazing as well. So really, really excited about that. And then you also had Ellie Kelleher, did not score, but she did have 3 rebounds and 2 assists though. And then Chloe Graham in 2 minutes of action did not score either. And that was your match up there. And that recaps that. It does it for recapping all the games from last night. So looking ahead to the games for Saturday, you'll have Bethel at Mount Vernon Nazarene. You'll have receiving votes Taylor at receiving votes Huntington. You'll have Goshen at number 16 Spring Arbor. You'll have receiving votes Indiana Wesleyan at Grace. And the game of the week by far, and I am going to be paying attention to this game. You can definitely bet on that in a good way, of course. You'll have number 4 Marion at number 7 St. Francis, the America's game of the week by far. So really, really excited about this matchup. And then looking at the updated standings with 3 games to go, Marion and St. Francis tied for the 1 seed at 13-2, and the winner of that game Saturday is going to be the 1 seed, and more than likely the 1 seed going into the league tournament, and the first team to punch their ticket as an auto bid into a national tournament. Marion and St. Francis tied for the 1 seed at 13-2. Spring Arbor 11-4. You'll have Huntington right behind them at 10-5. Bethel and Indiana Wesleyan tied for 5th at 8-7. Huntington, the 4 seed, 10-5. Taylor, the 7 seed, at 6-9. And then Grace, the 8 seed, at 3-10. Mount Vernon, Grace at 3-12, for the 8 seed. 2-13 Mount Vernon, and 1-14 for Goshen. Meaning that for Mount Vernon and Goshen, they are going to need to win out and have Grace lose out for either one of them to have a chance of getting into that final league playoff spot. So things are getting down to the nitty-gritty, and y'all, it's definitely getting exciting, and I'm definitely excited about that. And we're going to know a lot more after Saturday, that is for sure. So I truly appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and if you did enjoy it, please either like, comment, or subscribe. Any one of those options helps me out greatly. I truly appreciate any feedback that you may provide me. So thanks so much for tuning into this video. And again, I'll be back with you on Sunday, recapping all the games from Saturday. So really, really excited about that. So thanks again for tuning into this video. And that was a great win for the Lady Wildcats last night. Definitely glad I was able to go. And there's nothing like going to your home arena, your home court, your home university, supporting your favorite team, and that there's definitely not a better feeling in the world than doing that. So definitely glad I was able to do that, and it was a very, very long night. Didn't get home until 10 after 12 this morning, so definitely tired. Definitely going to be heading to bed early at night, catching up on sleep for going into tomorrow, and then getting set for the big games on Saturday. Super, super excited about that, and I'm really, really thankful to have you as a subscriber on my channel. And if you are brand new, please hit the subscribe button down below so you're first notified whenever I upload new episodes. And I really have enjoyed sharing my content with you, and I'm excited for what the rest of this season will bring, especially as we get closer to the national tournament, being able to share that with you. So again, things are getting more and more exciting little by little as we approach March Madness, which is hard to believe is coming up here roughly in about 1 month. So literally 1 month until the opening round of a national tournament. So again, thanks so much for tuning into this video. Have a great rest of your week, and God bless.